That's all we need. 15.
That's all we need, baby.
Small little 15 minutes, a quarter of an hour. So, guys, hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. Again, another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast.
Yeah.
Brent Abel Jr. here to this dude over there, Jeff Jacklich, Pontiac, Michigan. I'm still in the desert. We've had a mild spring. I mean,
yeah, well, you know.
Like mid 80s today, maybe at the most, but it is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. So, anyway, I'm going to play La Jolla, play doubles down there next week.
Nice.
Play down in the age group, 65s. That's kind of weird to say, playing down in the 65s. And going to play with my friend Frank Zebo. Good guy, really good guy. And then I got Berkeley after that. Pacific Coast is the following week.
Yeah.
Starts around the 22nd, I think, of May. So we'll be heading back up there maybe the day before or something like that. Go play that. And then be there for a couple weeks. And then I got Irvine in June, hard courts. And then I'm done for the summer. Before.
Well, here's the good news for Berkeley. You know, I won't be showing up with my phone to take some video and call you off the court and go,
I'm sure, though, you'll probably find someone else. Hey, why don't you sneak around, take some pictures, take some video of Brent's forehand. Let's do a comparison from a year ago. Brenny, nothing's changed. You've been working on it like a dog. What's going on? Anyway. So, guys, before we get into today's topic, which is something you're going to want to hang around for, because I think it's a good one, Jeff and I are offering a free private coaching call. It's only 10 minutes. Three of us get in the phone. It's a three-way call. But you got to bring, baby, that one thing in your game right now that's just like kind of scratching the head. Why can't I figure this thing out? And then if you could figure it out, maybe some other stuff in your game would just kind of take care of itself. You'd start getting that win result that you're looking for, whether it's singles or doubles. The way to get on that coaching call with us, did I say it was free?
I think you did.
I think it was free.
Complimentary.
Did I say it was private?
I think you did.
I think I did. So free and private, good thing, 10 minutes. Go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, and you'll get immediate access to our online calendar scheduler where you get to choose the date and time that works best for you. So, Jeffrey, today I want to talk to you about something that we were mentioning earlier this morning, where this is actually an afternoon recording session, kind of a little rare recording session for us time-wise.
Yep.
But now that you're 3 hours ahead of me, I think it'll be happening probably more often than not.
Probably.
We were talking about Madrid, and you've got Tennis Channel, teed up there on the TV behind you, and I've got the one here in front of me, and we were sort of talking about about RBA, about Roberto Batista Agut playing David Ferrer, and how incredibly competitive this level is.
Right.
I mean, competitive, just wanting to win so bad, and yet to compete at that level, it's like the swing freedom has to be at such a high level that you could almost say, well, I'm going to hit this backhand and I don't care.
Right.
Because there's so much swing freedom, right? There's no hesitation.
Right.
And some of that is because they've hit a gazillion tennis balls.
Right.
Over their lifetime.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in there for sure.
A lot of that in there. And obviously, physical specimens, and they're just training like crazy. But theoretically, to me, there's this balance or this combination of being super competitive and yet allowing it to go, letting the swing technique go, that there's this swing freedom. And when you do that, you create this quality spin that controls the length of the court. I remember back when I was in Key Biscayne, Florida, back in the mid-'70s. And I was working at the Royal Biscayne Hotel. and as an assistant pro, and I was just kind of figuring out how to teach, right? And these guys helped me a little bit. But there was this one day I went to I went to a different hotel, the Key Biscayne Hotel, because I heard that Jaime Fiel was there, and he was hitting some balls.
Nice.
Yeah, he was hitting there. He was hitting balls with Cliff Drysdale. And but I remember watching Jaime, and I was standing on the fence right at the baseline, and not watching the balls that he was hitting, but just looking. And it was old school linear type of stroke technique, but his swing path would go directly out over the net and out towards the opposing baseline, over and over and over again. And he was finishing it was like every ball was staying in. And I was thinking, now wait a minute. I guess he doesn't realize that there's a baseline over there. So and just crushing the ball and loud and I'm assuming wood tennis rackets back there and back then.
Right. Yeah.
So, but even today, with today's rackets, there's still that swing freedom as if there's no baseline. Competitive as hell, which I think for some of us means tight.
Yes.
To these guys, competitive doesn't mean tight.
They love the soup they're in. They love being in it. They've crossed over a threshold, if you will, of being able to be intensely competitive while being detached from.
That's the word you used earlier today when we were talking about
being detached from the outcome, kind of.
That's right.
That they've hit enough balls and they've over and over again trusted the feel that the body now knows how to hit a tennis ball. Mentally, they're just trying to keep themselves in this state of relaxation, this state of competitiveness, without hindering the body response of being on autopilot to go ahead and swing the racket, baby.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, we watch these guys on TV, and we go, God, they make it look so easy. And we go to the big pro events and we watch them in person. Yeah, it's a different feel then. I mean, it's a different level of intensity when it's TV as opposed to sitting there watching these guys. But it still looks like, God, that looks. Could I do that? And then you go out there and you practice. You're hitting with your buddy, and there's obviously no consequence for missing. So you're hitting the ball pretty well, hitting the ball pretty clean. And then the match starts. And then all of a sudden, the brain just kind of gets this, God dang it. And the swing freedom, which you saw and felt when you're watching TV and when you were watching the guys hit and when you were just rattling, where there was no, and you're right. At those 3 times, you are detached from the result, from the outcome.
Right.
Until you go, well, you're ready to play.
Yeah, you're
gulp.
You're so kind of let's say self-absorbed. I mean, I know for me, if I sit there and I watch a great Fed match or Rafa or whoever, and it's just watching some great ball striking, the fluid motion and all that, and then let's go out and hit some balls. I'm kind of self-absorbed in what I was watching and what I imagined I would feel.
Yeah.
That's another part of it too, is that it's not just to sit there and watch, Fed hit a ball, but kind of allow yourself to immerse yourself in that, God, that's got to feel great to the body. It's got to feel amazing. The cleanliness of the kinetic chain working in such perfect unison has to feel just amazing at ball striking, right? And I know you've done this where you're I can sit there on the couch and go, oh my gosh, I know how that feels. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so when you carry that with you out to the court after watching this great thing, if you've allowed yourself to kind of swim in that a little bit, then you go out there and you're just kind of fluid then, even though it may not be your normal kind of production value when you hit tennis balls for you guys out there, but you'll have a few minutes where you might be kind of so detached because you're just seeing this like fluidity in your mind. You're excited to be there. You're kind of up from watching this match. And I know that, I can't even count how many times after watching matches over the years as a junior and then a college player and then as a pro and then now, that to go out and play right after watching a great Wimbledon final or a great quarter, and then, this, you've done it, where all of a sudden, God, you're kind of just out there just going. And you're so detached from worrying about the result. It's not that we don't want the result, but we're not hanging our hat on the worry of what the outcome is.
Right.
And the outcome then usually comes out pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now you are just kind of competitive. You're seeing the openings and you're just striking the ball. And it's like, why can't I live in this neighborhood all the time, right?
Well, you can. You can, but it takes some training, because I think, first of all, stroke technique-wise, you have to intellectually understand that swinging out towards your target is not a recipe for hitting the ball over the baseline.
No.
And this is why I get a little concerned with this whole windshield wiper deal on the forehand, because I think a lot of players interpret that as I'm not swinging towards my target.
Right.
I'm actually swinging sideways towards my target.
Just about the time they make contact, they start pulling the racket off the ball.
That's right. So the way you control the length of your shot is by actually swinging out towards the target and getting the kind of spin that actually will control the length of your shot. So that's intellectually, right? Well, you can go out there and someone can underhand feed you balls, and you can feel that, and you can trust it in that situation. But how do you take that intellectual understanding and under a really controlled practice situation where you can do it and start to go, well, intellectually I know that's what I need to do, but I don't trust it. I don't believe it because I just think that the baseline is such a big obstacle that I just don't trust it. And now you start to get tight, you lose swing freedom, and you either you chunk it deep, you chunk it short, you leave it sitting up for the guy, whatever it is. And so I guess if we had a magic pill we could give everybody, it would be a pill that would make you feel like, I don't care if I miss this shot. I'm going to swing to my target, but I don't care. I'm going to have swing freedom. And swing freedom doesn't mean I'm going to see how hard I can hit the ball.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. I mean, you look at you bring up Fed all the time. I've never seen him. I mean, maybe in practice a couple times when he's screwing around, he just goes, "Let's see how hard I can hit the ball."
Right.
But in a match, I don't think he's ever hit the ball 100%.
I don't know. There's a few highlights where you see him all of a sudden just torque out, but he's still technically on top of his feet. His core is the axis that he's creating the stroke on. All the blah 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 technique we can talk about, and he just hits this laser out of nowhere. And you can see him after he hits them, where he almost kind of chuckles at it, like, "Oh my God, that went in."
Yeah, that's right.
I think you have to, again, the detachment is really important, because you can't be afraid to hit a ball out. You can't be afraid to hit it wide. You can't be afraid to hit it long. When you try to transition from the practice court, I'm working on something we talked about in the last episode. You have to make a decision, a commitment to, I'm going to play a practice set, and all I'm going to do is try to hit my forehand, to swing free on the forehand, and I'm going to aim in these two basic targets, the middle of the forehand side and the middle of the backhand side. Whatever you decide to do, whatever constraint you want to put on it, limit yourself to two targets and allow yourself to swing out to those targets and be okay with the ball going long a little bit. It's better to find where's the end of the court than to never experience the end of the court.
Right.
So players will get out there and go and kind of inch their way out toward the baseline, But then you can see them gradually getting tighter and tighter because they don't want to hit the ball long. They're afraid to hit the ball long. So now they've never actually experienced a free swing and have the ball land 6 inches inside the baseline consistently, right?
Right.
I know when I'm striking the ball well, when I'm really in the groove, I know when I've hit a ball a half an inch long. I know it when it comes off the strings. You know it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So which is why you don't question the call, right? The guy makes a call and you go, yeah, I knew that, I felt that. It's right there. So the only way to live in that neighborhood of within a foot in or out of the baseline is you got to hit balls there. And you go, what does that feel like? Because there's a difference between a foot inside on the baseline and a foot outside. There is a distinct difference. But you've got to sit there and hit enough balls and experience that. Like, okay, what is that? And so you can't care if you lose the set 6-0 because that's not the goal that day.
Yeah.
The goal is to find where's the edge of the world. What does that feel like to live there on the edge?
Yeah, and I think if you look for that edge, you're going to find that, you know what, I can swing freely at the target, and I'm not flirting with a line.
It's not as scary as you thought.
The world's round. That baseline keeps coming around.
Gravity works.
That's true. So
All
right. So well, listen, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and I really hope you got something from today's episode. It's really important. I mean, even in the senior stuff, the guys who really play at the top, it's less about this perfect stroke technique, and it's really much more about whatever stroke technique they have and a sense of swing freedom, where the baseline is not a perceived obstacle. And I think too often what happens is, well, it's a perceived obstacle, so I've got to play it closer to the top of the net. I don't want to lose that power, so I better play it closer to the top of the net.
Right.
And now what happens is,
oops,
I hit the net. It's in the net, and then anyway, blah blah blah. There you have it.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah. So, all right. Listen, what would we like the fine folks to do right now, Jeff?
Oh, like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, guys, we really mean that too. It's just not sort of making Jeff feel great. He's got his own little time here in each episode where he gets a little chunk of time. It really helps us in terms of spreading the word, our word out there about trying to help more tennis players. Obviously, the more likes, the more comments, those kinds of things, the share, whatever platform you're listening to or watching it, whether it's YouTube or whether it's iTunes or something else, it really does help us out, and we would appreciate it if you would reciprocate in the love we're giving you. If you could just give us a little bit back, that'd be awesome. So, guys, with that, get out there today. Yeah. Just do it. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff will do this again tomorrow.
I can't wait.